All right, we're here for the third video of the day. I'm just going to rant a bit about Nancy Pelosi again. She had pretty much a meltdown on CNN. They were asking why she's I don't know why she's withholding all this, relief fund for Americans. For some reason, she keeps rejecting it and only wants her plan, and will not negotiate. And nobody knows why at this point. So we got from the Daily Mail here, Nancy Pelosi spectacularly unravels during CNN interview after being asked why she is holding up Trump's $1.8 trillion COVID relief bill after Dem allies told the isolated speaker to accept it. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi accused CNN host Wolf Blitzer of being a Republican apologist in a heated live interview Tuesday. The California Congresswoman went into meltdown as Blitzer slammed her over refusing Trump's $1.8 trillion COVID-19 relief plan. Blitzer pushed Pelosi as to why fellow Democrats are calling on her to accept the deal presented last week if it is not adequate. He asked her to look Americans in the eye and explain why you don't want to accept the president's latest stimulus offer. She hit back that Blitzer and others on her party did not know what they are talking about and are not negotiating the deal. Pelosi has become increasingly isolated as other Democrats insist she come to a compromise on the relief bill before Election Day. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi slammed veteran CNN host Wolf Blitzer as a Republican apologist in a fiery meltdown on Tuesday evening. During the heated live segment on the Situation Room, Blitzer pushed the California Congresswoman to say why she is holding up President Donald Trump's $1.8 trillion COVID-19 relief bill, leaving Pelosi fuming that she didn't know what he was talking about. Pelosi, do you even know what you're talking about? Because for some reason you won't negotiate with anybody. We've had different packages brought up to your attention. And the price keeps going up, and I don't think it's going to get to what you want, Nancy. You need to learn to negotiate, and you are just refusing to. You want this weird power, and you're trying to grab it, and you're using hundreds of millions of Americans' lives for your own gain, and it's infuriating at times. Blitzer hit back by asking why Pelosi's Democrat allies are calling on her to get the deal done, citing the likes of former Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang and fellow California Democrat Ro Khanna. The 80-year-old speaker has found herself increasingly isolated in recent days as she is pushed from within her own party to reach compromise on a deal to bring further economic relief to the American people. They've said that people struggling as a result of the coronavirus pandemic and the subsequent economic fallout cannot wait until February for another deal to be passed. And that's very true. People can't. Businesses are failing left and right and it's a lot of these blue states that just will not open up. And that's why the economy is falling, is because these blue states won't open up. They're putting harsher lockdowns for people that want to protest this, but then allow rioting to happen within their streets and paint Black Lives Matter murals all over the place, but then don't allow Blue Lives Matter or just even American flags or just American support for that matter. I don't know why you're always an apologist, and many of your colleagues apologists for the Republican position, Pelosi responded as Blitzer mentioned Khanna's comments on the bill. That's pretty insane. I mean, CNN is pretty much like the harshest critic of Trump, but sure, why not? Why not, Pelosi? It's just because they're going after you this time, because for some reason you won't negotiate or concede your own plan? Ro Khanna, that's nice. That isn't what we're going to do, and nobody's waiting until February. She said that she could not accept the Republican deal as it is because child tax credits and earned income credits were eliminated. They minimized the deal for child care, which is the threshold with which mothers and fathers can go to work if they have that, she added. I want this very much now because people need help now, but it's no use giving them a false thing just because the president wants to put a check with his name on it in the mail. It's not the reason. It's because you wanted to bail out all these blue states. And I guarantee you that is what's being rejected. And that's why you won't let go. It's because you want the money to bail out your own state so then you can give yourself probably a better paycheck. Because you've been stealing money from your state left and right. We all know it. The whole country knows it at this point. We know the problem out there, Blitzer interrupted, but there are millions of Americans who have lost their jobs. They can't pay the rent. Kids need the food. That's right, and that's what we're trying to get done, Pelosi fired back. Are you? Because it doesn't seem like it, because you just won't negotiate in the slightest. You just seem to be up, no, won't accept that one. Nope, won't accept that one. Nope, won't accept that one. Nope, won't accept that one. You know, you can negotiate for other stuff later. You know, you can try to get all this, some of the stuff that might not be in there. You can try to just negotiate it for later. You know, you can do that stuff later, but, people do need help right now. The fireworks began early in the interview as Blitzer off the bat asked Pelosi why she wouldn't accept the Republican Party offer. He asked her to look Americans in the eye and explain why you don't want to accept the president's latest stimulus offer. I hope you'll ask the same question of the Republicans on why they don't want to meet the needs of the American people, Pelosi responded. You're the one who won't negotiate. I mean, you've had all these different stimulus relief plans brought to you, and you keep rejecting them. You keep saying no, 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 because it's not your plan specifically. But let me say this to those people, because all of my colleagues who represent these people and their needs are not addressed in the president's proposal. So when you say to me, why don't you accept theirs? Why don't they accept ours? Well, because we don't want to bail out your states either. We don't want to give you guys a bigger paycheck. That's why. Blitzer also asked Pelosi why she wouldn't call President Trump directly to try to work on the deal. Why not work out a deal with President Trump and don't let the perfect, as they say here in Washington, be the enemy of the good, Blitzer said. Well, I will not let the wrong be the enemy of the right, Pelosi answered. What's wrong with $1.8 trillion, Blitzer asked as he pressed her further. You know what? Do you have any idea what the difference is between the spending that they have in their bill and what we have in our bill? Yeah, because yours literally will go to blue states and they will misuse the funds because they've been misusing the funds to then, just keep rioters rioting, essentially. You know what? Do you have, with all due respect, you really don't know what you're talking about, she snapped. Yeah, maybe you're using that money to further your own political gain. And that could be what you're trying to do in your bill. Because we also know that you're trying to bail out these blue states that royally messed up. What makes me amused, if it weren't so sad, is how you all think you know more about the suffering of the American people than those of us who are elected by them to represent them at that table, Pelosi said. I think the people that are actually, deep into it, ankle deep, not even ankle deep, like waist deep in the crap and have to live it every single day while you get to go home to your $1 million mansion and eat your ice cream and feel happy about yourself all the time, thinking you do good and you're trying to do good while you continue to siphon money from your own state and use 300 million plus people to your own political gain. Yeah. She added that Democrats who are criticizing her for not accepting the bill are not negotiating the situation. They have no idea the particulars. They have no idea what the language is here, she claimed. The on-air spat continued until the dying seconds as both Pelosi and Blitzer attempted to have the last word, and the speaker accusing the TV host of defending the administration all this time. Wait, are you saying that CNN or Blitzer that has been defending Trump the entire time? Because that's completely unfounded. Madam Speaker, these are incredibly difficult times right now, and we'll leave on that note, Blitzer said. No, we'll leave on the note that you're not right on this, Wolf, and I hate to say that to you, Pelosi responded, but I feel confident about it, and I feel confident about my colleagues, and I feel confident in my committee chairs. Yeah, well, no one's confident in you. You might be confident, but nobody's confident in you. It continued for another minute with neither party willing to give in. Thank you for your sensitivity to our constituents, blah, blah, blah. Needs, Pelosi said sarcastically after Blitzer told her the bill is about millions of Americans who can't put food on the table, who can't pay the rent, and who are having trouble getting by. I am sensitive to them because I see them on the street begging for food, begging for money, Blitzer said. Have you fed them? We fed them, she hit back just as the segment was going to a commercial break. Have you really, Nancy? Because right now, you're playing with their lives for your own political gain. And I'm going to keep repeating that because that's what you're doing. And you're like, it's pretty much what like a monster does, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. The interview faced immediate criticism from Republicans who called on Pelosi again to work toward compromise. I mean, there was a Democrat-Republican relief fund that, like, They were trying to work together to try to come up with something. You're like, nope, it's not my plan. It's got to be my plan, so that way I can have all the credit and I can be the hero of the whole situation. When you're playing with all these hundreds of millions of people's lives, and they're not gonna like you for it. Nancy Pelosi is asked a simple question, and she immediately resorts to name-calling tweet House Minority Speaker Kevin McCarthy. So I'll ask her again here, Speaker Pelosi, why not make a deal? Millions of Americans are hurting while you single-handedly block support for workers and families. President Donald Trump on Friday offered a $1.8 trillion coronavirus relief package and talks with Pelosi after urging his team on Twitter to go big, moving closer to Pelosi's $2.2 trillion proposal. However, the proposal was dismissed by Pelosi as inadequate. Yeah, she's not going to give in, and she's just playing with the lives of everybody, and then it's going to talk about other crap about her, and a lot of this other stuff just doesn't really matter at this point. It's just fluff about Nancy Pelosi and all the crap that she's doing, and she doesn't care about people, because, you know, we know she doesn't really care about people. She just wants that big paycheck, and she's going to want a bigger house, or maybe go get an island or something and flee. Who knows? Who knows? This woman is corrupt as all balls, though. All balls. Yeah. I'll leave it on that note. This is the last video. I will see you then tomorrow. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye.